Hey there, how's it going? It's me, Commandant Franz, in my spiffy new not Confederate hat. And that's right, you're multiplying wrong. And everybody's multiplying wrong. And I was multiplying wrong until I stopped to think about it the other day. And I said, wait, everybody's multiplying wrong. And now that I thought of it, every time I hear someone multiply, it sounds very wrong. But for whatever reason, just not ever thinking of it before, it didn't sound wrong, even though it's very clearly wrong. So how are you multiplying wrong? Well, okay, so most of you probably know that timesing is not a thing, and minusing is not a thing, and plussing is not a thing. Adding, subtracting, and multiplying are all things. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when people say 1 times 2, 1 times 10, 1 times 100, whatever it is. 1 times 2. Think about that for a moment. That's not right, is it? Because times is plural, but you're only having 1 time. 1 time 2 should be the correct way to say it. And like I said, now that I thought of that, it's so obvious. Like, 1 times 2, that's clearly correct, and 1 times 2 is clearly not correct. But all my life I'd been saying 1 times 2 and never thought about it, and it seems like everybody else does that too. But no, clearly it should be 1 times 2, because you don't say, oh yeah, I just did that 1 times. You say, oh yeah, I just did that 1 time. Or more commonly, you say, I just did that once. So you could just say once 2, twice 2, thrice 2, and then 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, whatever. And of course this also applies to decimals and fractions. 1/2 a time 2, that's 1. 1/4 a time 2, that's 1/2. You know, you've got a quarter of a thing, but it's a singular thing that you're taking a quarter of. Now, even if you've got 2 of your quarters, you're still talking about out of one thing, so it would still be 2/4 of a time, because you're talking about the time and then taking 2/4 of it. You're not talking about the individual quarters. Now, there's a way to avoid all this, which is what I use, which is I just say by, referring obviously to the fact that if you have a rectangle that is one measurement by another measurement, the end result is the multiplication of those two things. So 1 by 1, 2 by 3, 9 by 9, it's all just by. And also I think this makes slightly more sense when you're talking about variables, because, you know, like, oh, how many times did you do that? Oh, I did that 4 times. It doesn't quite make sense. Obviously, force would be relating to a number, a numerical value, but it doesn't make a lot of sense if you say by either, but it makes a bit more sense. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye.